and gentlemen, we would like to proceed with the industry presentation now. So for the very first presentation from Kore.ai, ladies and gentlemen, we have here with us Mr. Ashutosh Sharma, who is the Vice President and Head of Sales from Kore.ai. Please put your hands together for the gentleman. And along with him, I would like to do the honor to invite Mr. Subrahmanyam, who is the Director Sales Engineering from Kore.ai. Zordar Talia would be really appreciated. Come on, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Very good morning. So today we'll be talking a bit about how the conversational AI landscape has been evolving. Along with Subrahmanyam, we'll also take a deep dive into how this landscape, along with the OpenAI thing that has come into play now, how it has evolved over the last 1 year, and now how this whole infrastructure of AI is being transformed into a platformized way in which industry is adopting it. And when I say industry, it is the enterprise side of it as well as the government side of it. So can we start the presentation?
Yeah. Okay.
So Subrahmanyam will take you ahead of how all these technologies that we've been hearing about have actually impacted the industry now and like where we are headed.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Subrahmanyam Donepudi. I'm the Director of Sales Engineering at Kore.ai. So we are a conversational AI company. We are today talking about digital Bharat, right? But the primary communication channel for people to reach out is what? Anywhere and everywhere. They can reach out to you on WhatsApp, they can reach out to you on voice, they can reach out to you by even calling, "Hey Siri," isn't it? Right? So while we are a conversational company, we try to understand every technology element out there in the world in terms of providing rightful experiences. Maybe we understanding the sentiment of people. India, lot of languages, lot of dialects, isn't it? So we trying to understand what people are trying to convey in terms of providing that multilingual support. Their sentiment, by the way they're talking to the system, their tone might change. It can be the case that the conversation is not straightforward anytime, right? Like we start the conversation by greeting, we start the conversation by asking a couple of questions. It can even be a case that you were to execute a transaction. Let's say, for example, you reported a crime. You want to know the status of the particular crime. In which case you provide your FIR number or something and you get that information back. Right? It's interruption management, where if you proceed, before you complete the entire conversation, you kind of ask different questions which are related to the same intent as such, and digress back to the actual conversation. So a lot of things happening in the current landscape. We tried every technology. I've talked about voice, I talked about digital. When it comes to voice, there are ASRs, there are TTS engines, there are multilingual support things. There are speech analytics too in terms of how the conversations are happening overall with all your segmented audience. Moving on. So while we are in this conversational AI space for the last 1 decade, we tried every tooling which is available out there. We tried every technology. But after OpenAI coming in, after ChatGPT coming in, the entire landscape has changed, right? So in terms of adoption, we've seen that people coming from different verticals, people coming from different domains are adopting conversational AI as such. But after OpenAI, there is an interest from every company, every person I talk to, and how the conversation can be more natural, right? So these are the broadly deployed bots or industries that have adopted to conversational AI. You see that there are banking people, there are enterprise-related banking, there are enterprise-related retail, IT services. So broadly speaking, we categorize the conversation happening with your customers. You have a conversation happening within the employees of the organization, and the third one being your agents as well, who will kind of support your customers. So we try to automate the conversations of all the 3 segments: customers, employees, and the agents. Next slide, please. The dawn of generative AI. So it took 2 years for Twitter to get their first 1 million users. And it literally took 2 days for OpenAI or ChatGPT to get the first 1 million users. That's the dawn of generative AI. Moving on. Okay, so what changes with large language models? What changes is everything. So you can naturally talk to the system, as in your dialect doesn't matter, Your language doesn't matter. Your emotion will be carried forward. Your context will be retained. All of that is possible with large language models because earlier we were to rely on the system. So we are relying on the enterprises to provide with large data sets or large corpus of data, which will help us to identify the intent and drive the conversation. That's not the case now. If you have to build a virtual agent with the use of large language model, it is very easy and it can even be done in minutes. So here is an example, right? When you talk to ChatGPT, this is an example which I kind of liked. So Wikipedia synopsis of what happened between Romeo and Juliet in 20 words. So they come from different backgrounds, they loved each other, and end of the day, a tragedy happened and they died. 20 words. In 10 words, star-crossed lovers take tragic actions that end in death. 5 words, and in 2 words, love kills. Right? So while we are expecting the system to give me a synopsis of what's been happening in the way that I don't get bored. Like the same kind of response can change for a person who is interacting depending upon his demographics. So when a kid of 5-year-old comes to the system and says, what happened between Romeo and Juliet, the way we convey the message to the kid, the way we convey the message to a 60-year person will be different, and that can be leveraged with the use of large language models. We are a conversation AI company. Like I said, we are a decade-old company. We've been investing a lot of time, and we have helped a lot of enterprises in the world. With generative language models coming in, we are using the capability of large language model at every stage of the virtual agent development cycle. Can you play with the sound as well, if you can? So what we are trying to present in this particular video is that that cycle of you designing the conversation, identifying the use cases are all covered as part of the platform. Notice that the use cases are also auto-suggested by the platform itself. You need not worry what to automate. The entire journey is prepared. in this video, we try to cover a lot many elements, as in how you kind of think about adapting conversational element or bringing conversational element onto the table. You identify the use cases, you build the journeys, you train the bot, you test your system before you kind of deploy it on whatever channel you want. We support 130 languages, we support 40 plus channels, and the touch points, right? If you need a system for your employees, it's there. If you need a system for your customer, it's there. If you need a support for your agent, because you can't expect your agents to talk without any training as such. And your agents will be changing over time. It takes a lot of time for you to train them, and by the time they get trained, they probably even leave. And we need something that can help your employees, your customers, and agents all the time. So what is that we are trying to do with generative AI? It's not just for text generation. We identify multiple languages based on generative AI as well. Classification, as in whenever there are multiple conversations happening with different segments of audience, we try to understand what's happening as part of all of those conversations. Dialogue builder, you see the entire journey being built based on the description of what you expect as a use case. And of course, your sentiment analysis to drive the conversation. So with all the AI element added as part of every phase you have in the dialogue builder process, you would go to market 10 times faster. You would deliver human-like experiences. You help your employees, you help your agents as well. And of course, you get actionable insights.
So this is where Gartner has given a very interesting insight about how government has been adopting the technologies, and you can see multi-channel engagement as one of the major facets where a lot of transformation is happening, and especially with the things that Subrahmanyam has been talking about, this has really powered the next phase of digital transformation in the various government sectors. So that is where Kore.ai comes with a very hefty, I would say, a bulk of solutions that are basically focused on the 4 major areas. You can say one is the AI-powered help desk, which can be voice or chat bots across your different channels wherever a citizen can interact with you for any kind of services. The second aspect is the vernacular search element. Usually we've been hearing about the kind of schemes that the citizens need to search for, and the kind of documentation is not readily available. Plus some things are available in some language versus some are available in English. So we also have the capabilities to offer a seamless search window wherein somebody can write in a language of their choice, and that particular window, it can be integrated to multiple services across the citizen stack, and that is where the real power is unlocked. Another side of it is the proactive communications element. We've been talking about WhatsApp as one of the things, but unlocking WhatsApp with other channels and then being proactive, understanding like whatever are the current scenarios of a district or any kind of a, let's say, a PSU scenario wherein you need to be upfront with the customer, keep on communicating, and also give them a window to talk to you or give you certain feedback about your services. That becomes very important. Yeah, can we go back? So 1 point was remaining. Yeah, and then the fourth side is the rapid distribution of these services or rapid adoption of these kind of services within the government sphere. Like Subrahmanyam has been talking about, the generative AI element makes it very easy for you to train all the bots or for you to basically go live very fast, which was not usually possible. We've all heard about digital projects in government getting delayed quite a lot, and that is where a lot of, I would say, losses are also incurred. That has also been one of the talks. So that is where this, again, the generative AI bit comes into play. It makes your adoption, it makes your testing, makes your deployments very fast, and this whole thing is packaged as a solution by Kore.ai. I've just listed out some of the major areas where we have seen use cases coming up across the government stack. One is the state utility services, any kind of, let's say, new connections for any kind of utilities or any kind of grievances around them that can be served through an AI model, or which is very much intelligent and understands the, let's say, consumers' needs, is very much personalized to your, let's say, households or the commercial bit of it. Those are the kind of things that have been adopted rapidly in some of the scenarios, and now a lot of state governments are taking up those initiatives. Similarly, there are a lot of education, skilling, and employment initiatives that can be powered by a very intelligent AI model, which is again going to be powered by generative AI in the next few years. Distribution of public health services is one of the major, I would say, agendas for the government, and that is where, again, to communicate the schemes to the tier 2 and tier 3 India, which is still very much underserved in their languages, in their choice of modalities, or let's say or combining the offline element to online element, all those things play a very major role when we talk about these technologies.
Can you go back?
Can we go back? Yeah. And of course, then there are the district welfare development and waste management services. So these are just few of the examples, and the real, I would say, synergies will be unlocked as and when the industry and the governments contribute more and more towards each other's I would say major scenarios that are listed over here. So that is what we are trying to achieve with the Kore.ai platform, which basically helps you answer any kind of queries, also build any kind of workflows across different systems, retrieve information from different systems together, automate any kind of summaries, any kind of, let's say, citizen behaviors that have been happening across different channels, and serve as like the central AI model for all of your state's needs.
That's a glitch.
Yeah. So this just captures an overview of all the elements that our platform has. You can see on one side there are more than 30 plus enterprise channels that the citizens can interact upon. On the other hand are the different applications that will already be a part of your stack. These can be like applications which are storing your records of data, or maybe some kind of, let's say, health data of the citizens, or maybe some transaction data of citizens. All those things can be connected within the same platform. And then there are again, there is a text-to-speech element. There is again, some elements around understanding live conversations, converting them and feeding them to another bot over there, and then answering them through different facets. So these are some of the elements wherein this is a full stack solution offered by us, and it can be customized to each and every different use case in a district.
So we do have a lot of things to present to you. While we were not able to show the end user conversation in terms of how it looks like when we involve the element of generative AI, please do visit us at the booth, and we'll be happy to present and connect with you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, sir. Would like to request you to please stay back, because obviously we would like to thank you as well. और इसके लिए मैं request करना चाहूँगी Miss Tanya Tiku से to please step up here on the stage and do the honor by felicitating the gentleman. Yes, if you want to, yes, obviously you can. Can we have the gentleman here on the stage, please? Please. We'll pass it on way. You can answer it from here.
Okay. So you talk about this AI module. So like, what algorithm are you utilizing for training the AI? Is it proprietary or it's an open source? That is question number one. You said about the vernacular search. Can you explain a little bit more on that? Third, is any kind of intellectual property right filed, or you have licensed any technology to deploy it in India? Thank you.
Okay. So I'll take the first part. The kind of proprietary models that we have, these are all like, we have 3 different proprietary NLP models that we've developed over the course of last 10 years. Even before OpenAI came into play, we were in this industry. We've deployed a lot of solutions across 50 different largest banks across the world, and maybe 25 different of the retail companies across the world. We've been very prominent across the North America, Europe side of things, and we've started our APAC efforts over the last 6 months, I would say. And that is how now we are like segregating our efforts for this region. We are, of course, we have our headquarters in Hyderabad based over here. So we have models trained on the regional languages as well as the global languages.
What algorithm are you utilizing? Like any particular algorithm you would like to mention?
I can code the algorithms. We use Yampinet, we use Plantify, we use LABSC, we are using Llama, we are using Anthropy. So all of the models, I can go on. All of the models will use at different stages for the WhatsApp development. Most of them, when you look at large language models, right, they are intended for different purposes. And we kind of provide you a platform wherein the consumption of a particular algorithm makes more benefit for the customer.
Okay. So have you filed any intellectual property rights?
Yes.
Looks like
We
you have
do-
number of questions. Sorry to interrupt, but I think we can do that offline because we are short of time. So if you guys
Fine.
can continue it
Please
one on
connect
one.
us at the booth and we'll be
Yes,
happy to
please,
help.
we
Thank
can
you.
do that. Thank you so much. Would like to request you to please stay back here. And with that, Tanya ma'am would like to request you to please felicitate the gentlemen. An audience, please put your hands together. Come on, everybody.